So today I want to talk to you about what I call my social work law of love success. This I think you'll find interesting because once you understand things under this law that we as social workers use, you are going to really get it vis-a-vis your man and why you cannot be talking to him about your relationship vis-a-vis commitment in the way you might be. So what is the law for social workers? We have a fundamental law, so to speak, or premise under which we work, and it's really the main law that we must get, and it is repeated to us time and time again. And we have to remind ourselves of it when we get frustrated with something that isn't going right or we feel like we're failing a client. And I'm going to use this as an example. Everybody can kind of relate to what substance abuse might lead to. For example, a substance abuser who is living on the street because they are a substance abuser. Well, if we're working with abusers, we certainly know what it is that's going to be most helpful. And we certainly know cause and effect. That the cause of the problem is the drug use that is causing the homelessness. And if we fix that, then we fix the homelessness and vice versa. And we know that it's the first order of business is to get off the drugs or else nothing will really go right in his or her life. We know that. But we can't, and here's the principle, we can't want it more than the client. Think about that. We can know, we can understand, we can want it more for them than they want for themselves. This goes to a lot of things psychologically for the client. We can have hope and we can hold space for hope, but we can't want it more than they do, or else we do two things. We fail them and we frustrate ourselves. So it's not good for either. And if you are wanting commitment from your man more than he wants it, and what I say here, in other words, think about that substance abuser. Do you think that if we could wave a magic wand, he would want to be off of drugs, or she would want to be off of drugs, if it were that simple? Well, probably so, right? I mean, nobody sets out, hey, when I grow up, I want to be a drug abuser. I mean, you might laugh at that, but I mean, seriously, if we could wave a magic wand and it were easy, and they could understand themselves, and they could understand why they, and all the causes and all the stuff that they might take really a very long time to get to, if we could wave that magic wand and it would be over for them, they would want that. It is the same thing here. That if you want commitment more than your man does, and you could know that it would be better, he may even know, and I bet you he does, that this relationship would work a lot better if he were fully in and fully committed. But it doesn't work that way. What has to happen is that he needs to come to that on his own, and you can't want it more than he does. Now, that's going to be interesting because you're going to say, well, of course I want it. And he may even know that you want it more than he does. And that can be okay. And I hesitate to say that. Because while he may know, it's what you do that is going to be most significant. So, for example, I may know if I'm working with someone on the streets who is addicted to drugs. He or she knows that I know that it would be better if they weren't on drugs. He knows, or she knows too. But I can work with him or her in a way that is a non-judgmental way, a way of being not supportive of what they're doing, but certainly show respect and understanding of where they are in their journey. And this is going to be for you in terms of a man, if you want commitment, this is a fine line. There can only be so much time of accepting. This acceptance, unlike when we are working with a client in actual social work, you can't continue to just be accepting because you're in a relationship. You are not his social worker therapist, and I want you to make sure you don't become that. In other words, you can't be talking to him about the whys. You need to just show, I will only accept this for a certain amount of time. And you can't be talking to him about it in a way that you've been trying to convince. No. Just like in the example I'm giving you, I could no more convince an addict because, first of all, he or she knows. My trying to convince them of something is just going to be almost like a nagging, get away, I know this, right? And it's going to be the same thing with your man. So how do you do it? Well, there are very subtle ways of showing some acceptance, some support. When I say some, that is the really important word there, some. And it's not going to be forever. And it is the power of showing that it's not going to be forever. That's really significant. But how do you do that in a value-based way? Not get yourself frustrated along the way. Because if you show the frustration, and that's all that frustration is wanting something more than he does, you may know that it would be, again, most valuable, and things could be beautiful. And believe it or not, he knows it too. But he's not ready. He's not willing. He's not able. He might be two of those three. He might be all three. He might be one of the three, right? In terms of not being ready, not being willing, not being capable. Yes. And many times they all go hand in hand. So it's, what do you do? Well, I can't give you that here because, again, that would be us finding out together what has gone on and me helping you from where he is in this and a bit of where you are as well. Because one thing I know, if we're in a relationship, then there's a cause and effect. There's a reciprocal part of it. So this is what my GPS program, and then my Lure Him In as well. And they kind of go hand in hand. Many women go through the GPS program and they do it in 12 weeks and they get the commitment that they desire, deserve. I think about this week although it was a difficult 12 weeks, she immediately got the engagement that she desired and deserved. It happens all the time. But many times we need to go to the Lure Him In. And that's the extra step that you need to be committed to really make it work. But the commitment has to be there from the beginning. You have to really know and be committed to that you are ready, willing, and able. That's right. Finding out for yourself, right? And then you work under this law that even though you know that for yourself, you can't want it for him and for you more than he does. This is profound because a man must get to that place and truly want it and truly make a decision. Just like with that person who is abusing substances must make a decision that he or she is going to get off whatever they're on and actually walk hand in hand with their caseworker, their social worker, who is going to help them with the steps once they make the decision. And that's where really your man needs to get. And you need to be almost a silent partner in this journey, taking his hand and helping him go through the steps. There's a lot here. But if you get the underlying principle here, and I'm sure that you do, then you will want to check out two things. First and foremost, you want to get my book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. So you know for sure whether or not your man is a consumer or buyer. And it's going to be on a scale. He's going to fit somewhere on the scale of being ready, willing, and able to commit. And you'll know then, you'll have a baseline, we call it, of where you start. Just like with the person we're talking about, the substance abuser, we have to know, is he a once an hour person who is shooting up? Or is he really, someone that won't need all of that intervention? It's something lesser, okay? But you have to start with a baseline, and you have to know. So you scale him, and you do that by taking the consumer versus buyer relationship test. You can do that, it's all in the book, and or you can go to coachpaulagrooms.com/relationship evaluation. It's all there. coachpaulagrooms.com, click on the menu, click on relationship evaluation, the consumer versus buyer relationship test. And then when you have to set about doing things in a way that you've not done. Because if you're not a commitment, whatever is going on is likely not working the way it could. And you don't want to get frustrated, because if you get frustrated, you fail the both of you. You fail the relationship. Just like if I were working with that substance abuser and I get frustrated, I'm not going to help. Not be helpful in a way that will be most utilitarian to get him or her to where we know would be a great place to get to. We can have hope. We can have a bit of tiny acceptance. We can have a bit of a time frame on it. And that's what you need to have to a certain degree. And I can help you with that. I have helped so many women get to that desired place for them and their relationship, or to really find out for sure that they've done everything possible. They have gone the distance and they have played it out where it just simply at this time has not. And then what do you do? And that's what I help with too. So listen back to this and comment if you like it. That's always very helpful. Or make a comment with a question, because I can hopefully help you to determine where you are and what you do next, what will be most helpful to you. I trust you got a lot of good information from today's video, so I hope you'll subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're sure to get all my upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And if you are here and seeing this video between May 19th, 2021 and June 19th, 2021, then I urge you to go to my spring Not Just a Fling giveaway. It's a giveaway especially for subscribers here, and if you are already subscribed, you just go to that video, Spring Not Just a Fling giveaway, and you will get all the instructions on how to enter. If you are a new viewer, then please do subscribe and be part of the Wonder Women family. And you can do that by going to that video as well, subscribing, get all the details there, and get a wonderful giveaway and getaway in 2021.